Today, we're going to talk about our big project on Bernard's Orchards. Bernard's Orchard is a 155-year-old orchard with over 30 varieties of apples and a whole lot of personality. Oh look, a cat, one of the many cats that roam the orchard. Isn't that neat? Here are our 5 main discoveries about Bernard's Orchard. The first thing we learned was real men run farms, and you can't get any realer than Louis Bernard, who is owner-operator of Bernard's Orchards. To learn more about Louis, we'll take a look at his farmers-only profile. Louis, who goes by the original Apple Man, enjoys hobbies of tractor pulls and words with friends, and is looking for a smart, educated woman that has a passion for Malus domestica, that's apples, ladies. Doesn't mind getting her hands dirty, but he does have a deal breaker. He's got 5 cats, so if you're allergic, move along. The second thing we learned is that a farm is just a business, and all businesses have one thing in common: costs. There are 2 types of costs, fixed and variable. A fixed cost is simply an expense that doesn't change with the output. So that means that if you produce 1 apple or 1,000, those fixed expenses stay the same. On an orchard, examples of fixed costs are general supplies, taxes, rent, legal expenses, and insurance. A variable cost is an expense that varies with the production output. Variable costs are those costs that vary depending on the company's production volume. They rise as production increases and fall as production decreases. Examples of variable costs on an orchard could be the sales room product, the payroll, the chemicals, the gasoline, fuel, and oil, or repairs of the machinery. We'll be using these concepts to find the price of 1 single apple at Bernard's Orchard. In order to find the total cost to produce 1 apple, first we have to find the fixed cost per apple. In order to do that, we need to know 3 things: the total fixed expenses of the farm, how many bushels per year that farm produces, and how many apples come in a bushel. In this case, the total fixed expenses for Bernard's Orchard was $66,871.86. We divide that by 11,000 bushels that the farm produced, and then divide that number by 126, the average number of medium-sized apples per bushel. That will give us our fixed cost per apple of 5 cents. Next, we have to find the variable cost per apple. In order to do that, we use the same formula we did last time, except we substitute the total fixed cost with total variable costs, and then solve. The total variable cost on the farm was $453,926.08. That gives us our total variable cost per apple of 33 cents. The last step is to combine our 2 answers: fixed cost per apple plus variable cost per apple. That means that we add 5 cents plus 33 cents. This means that when Bernard's Orchards produces 11,000 bushels, the cost per 1 apple is 38 cents. Let's talk a little bit about the market structure. Some large farms and orchards sell to wholesalers who distribute to places like supermarkets. If Louis were to decide to do this, he would be operating in a market of perfect competition. He would be forced to accept whatever price he is offered as dictated by the market. Only a small percentage of Bernard's apples go to wholesale. Most of Bernard's income comes from the sales room. This is where you can get delicious items like fresh cider, jam, and of course, freshly picked apples. In this regard, Bernard operates in more of an oligopoly, where it is one of a few local orchards. These orchards compete for the local business in a market where there are few sellers, similar products, and huge barriers to entry.
Created using Powtoon.